Kundalini Yoga. So,
yeah, mainly for discipline.
you are pretty sure.
Yes.
What's the meaning of journey?
What's the meaning of British? Yes, this is
Lady with some water. No,
an introductory, you can say introductory workshop or seminar or talk with some practices from one of the tradition of Kundalini Yoga. One of the traditions, why I said that I conduct 3 different programs on Kundalini. One Kundalini meditation that I have been doing in Princeton that has 5 levels. Level 1, level 2, level 3, up to level 5. Another one is this that I'm going to introduce. What is this? And then there is a third, which I say the intensive. I conducted a couple of workshops last year, I think, yes. See, this is part 1 of 8. So those people who enroll, they have done, I think, a couple of people, at least 11 people have done 2 parts, and I'm going to do it in the 3rd part. So this present workshop has 3 levels. Do I design it? Do I create all those things? Keep a smile on the face. Amanjot, you are spiritually initiated. What happened? Why you are so serious? But before going that, let me give my crazy introduction. 33 years of teaching, learning, mentoring, and also being mentored by many masters. So long back in 1984 or 85, I got also my initiation without any name. I'll talk about that also. I got initiation by my Himalayan master, and I never left him for 26 years. I chased him. What is this? Why you are saying this? Why to do this practice? Initiation doesn't mean that now I will keep quiet and okay, whatever you teach me, I will accept blindly. That was the first teaching my master gave. He taught me something, and after a month he asked me what happened. No, master, you taught me, so I'm doing. Did you have any doubt in your mind? Yes, I said I have 100 doubts. He said, get out of my ashram, get out of my monastery. You don't dare to ask me to remove your doubt? What kind of an initiation you have? You are not fit to learn. Why you want to follow me blindly? That is not a spiritual discipline. That was the first lesson. So after 2 years I got the initiation. So he realized my inclination that it is living in the world and living a spiritual life. So he said, I put 10 conditions. I won't change your name. I won't give you a loin cloth, orange cloth. So all the 10 outer coverings, he said, nothing doing for you. This is only for you. Are you ready? I said, I'm ready for everything, as long as you allow me to live near you. So in those 2 years, I realized that how much tremendous potential he has. So I said, no, I'm not going to leave you. So until he left his body, He left his body in 2012 when I was here. So 26 years of learning Tantra, yoga, spiritual tradition, including Kundalini, and so I just give a glimpse of that. Coming back to this introductory workshop, first thing that I follow a tradition, teachings, and the text. Nothing belongs to me. But yes, what belongs to me? Because I'm facing you, I talk to you, I understand your mental, emotional level. Even if you have come with a spiritual aspiration, but when I understand your nature, that's what I've been doing. I learned from my master and I pass on the same thing differently. So based on your level of consciousness, your mental and emotional makeup, I see that how I can customize those practices without deviating the fundamentals of the tradition. So that is only my uniqueness. The rest, everything belongs to the tradition, my master, and many masters that I have learned. What is Oh, you are already trained teacher now.
No, in the training.
In the training. Okay, good. Pratisha, have you heard about Kundalini?
Yeah, I used to go to the Khalsa Yoga Center in Hamilton about 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Okay, Mahan Rishi Khalsa. No.
Preet Kaur.
Preet Kaur. Okay.
Sukhmander Singh.
Okay. So now you're here with our
Yes, I was excited to see the center.
male teacher. Yes. What is Kundalini? Mona? No. Amaji.
Oh no, I'm about to fail now. It's that coiled energy potential that every human being has within their being.
Why it is coiled?
Coiled?
Why it is coiled?
Because it's like a serpent's energy, like a coil of like a...
Can this energy be ever coiled? You have the energy here.
It's dormant.
You have...
It's dormant, it's not active.
I'm not working with the cell phone. Energy is there. Is the energy coiled? You have to be more rational when you follow a spiritual discipline than being a scientist. Why you are going to accept that it is coiled, and how many times? 3.5 times. That is...
I guess because when it moves in that circular, right?
Energy moves like that. Let me know. No, if you say it is energy, then we have the energy here, we have the energy here, and I have the energy, the sound energy is passing on. Mm-hmm. So it is passing on to you. Why? We must ask ourselves.
Why is it coiled?
Why we say it is coiled? Is it symbolic or it is actually coiled?
Symbolic.
It's more symbolic. So we should not pay too much attention that it is coiled. What that symbolism means, that will help us to understand this Kundalini. I'm going well, Pratisha? If I'm not going right, then you let me know. You're absolutely right. Say stop, follow the right. Marcy knows me, so that's why I'm not addressing her. I may be a teacher, so then what? The fundamental principle of tradition that was prevalent in India follows the two approaches. One approach belongs to the same Tantra and the Veda tradition, where it says Chaitanyam Atmam Iti, the definition of the real self, the soul or the supreme consciousness comes from the Tantra. Kundalini also belongs to the Tantra. So one approach says Chaitanyam Atmam Iti, means pure consciousness is the self. There is nothing else. So your approach is to reach to that pure real self by moving the mind within, of transcending the mind and awakening to that real self. That tradition speaks of Advaita. Have you heard the word Advaita? Advaita means non-dualism. There is no duality. There is not two. So when there is not two, that is also followed by Buddhism, Mahavira, and many great masters followed that tradition of Advaita, non-dualism. In religious sense, we say the God is one. In a spiritual sense, we say the absolute reality is one. It is absolute existence, consciousness, bliss. There is no two. So we refuse to accept any power. We say that God Himself is the power. Pure consciousness is Himself the power. It is embedded in it. There is no two. Path of knowledge of yoga, Jnana Yoga, is based on this principle of non-dualism. Where it says, Dhyanam Nirvishayam Manah. It says, don't worry about these forces, power, just empty the mind of all its content. When you empty the mind of all its contents, that real self will reflect into the mind and you will be awakened. So there we don't talk about Kundalini. We don't talk about force. Same thing follows the approach of Bhakti Yoga. Well, you can understand Bhakti Yoga, the path of emotional integration. Now coming to the basic principle of Kundalini, we say that I come here and sit, I do nothing. And Marcy gives you the paper about me, you read it, and after some time you say, what's the heck, why he's not speaking? So when I don't speak anything, I remain within myself. That is the path of the previous path that I explained. The moment I start speaking, I divide myself into two. I am and my power of speech. I and my power of wisdom. I and my power of knowledge. You see that? Huh? We divide ourselves into two. That is, once you understand this principle, then the Kundalini becomes easy to understand. Then that dual principle has been explained by different masters with the different terms. Sankhya Yoga says Prakriti and Purusha. Purusha is a Sanskrit word. Purusha, Pur means city, and the one who lives in that city is known as Purusha. That is another word. Pur. You seem to be Indian. Indian?
Yes, I'm Indian.
Okay. So we have many names. Nagpur, Kanpur. Yeah? So the Sanskrit word comes from Purusha. Pur refers to the city. And the one who dwells in the city is known as Purusha. Who creates that city? It is known as Prakriti. Prakriti, the special power of Purusha. Now you were thinking, am I talking of city like New York City? No, I'm not talking of that New York City. The city of 5 sense organs, 5 motor organs, mind, intellect, ego, energy. This city dwells, houses one Purusha, one highest consciousness, that is Purusha, who dwells here. This is the city. Continuously working. City never sleeps. New York never sleeps. This city also never sleeps. You sleep, but it never sleeps. You already know it. The mind is working. Intellect is working. Ego is working. Oh, you are stressed, so that stress is accumulated at the unconscious level. It is building up a lot of things, and the next day you again get agitated. It's working. You understand? Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti creates this city. Who is this Prakriti? The creative power of Purusha. What is this Purusha? Chaitanyam Atmamiti, pure consciousness is the self. Little difference. So in Sankhya Yoga, instead of saying Kundalini, we say it is Prakriti. Now come to it. Don't you have potential to become President of the United States? Pretty sure. You can't ignore it. We all have the same potential. You don't want to be, that's a different thing.
Maybe for one day.
We all have that potential. So Prakriti has that potential. I was deaf when I was in a school. I stood up, my teacher asked me to stand up and speak. And I had the tears in my eyes because I was so scared of speaking. Even though I knew the answer of the question he asked me. So it is the potential. You awaken that potential in you. You aspire. Now coming directly to the Kunda. Kundalini has 2 meanings. Sanskrit word has 2 meanings. We'll also do some practice. All the 3 ways, so we'll be doing couple of practices in a different way. Kundalini word, Sanskrit word, has 2 meanings. One, Kundalini, you rightly taught me that it is coiled. It is coiled, and it is 3.5 times coiled. We'll talk about it. The another word, meaning of the Kundalini, it comes from the word Kunda. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕੁੰਡਾ ਕੁੰਡ ਕੁੰਡ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕੁੰਡ ਕੁੰਡ pit bowl. Today you don't have that bowl, singing bowl, the music bowl. Pit. The another word of Kunda is known as pit. I'm not saying it, but I've learned, that's what I'm saying. It's known as the bowel. But this pit is inverted. Where is this pit? This is the pit. This is the pit, the kunda. And it confirms with the science that we have a dormant areas of the brain. If they are awakened, you move into the higher consciousness. That is another reference of the Kundalini, explained by many, many Tantra texts. I'm breaking your habitual and accumulated information that you have. You never argued with it. You never rationalized it. You never reasoned it. You said, okay, you are my teacher. I accept you blindly. Why you accept me blindly? There is another reference that Mooladhare Atma Shakti Kundali Paradevata. When this power is not awakened it is in a potential form, it is in a sleeping form, then symbolically it says, when you are sleeping, then what is the state of your sleep? Unconscious. You are not aware of the external world. You are not even aware, pretty sure, where you are lying. Which bed? Are you really sleeping in the United States or not? Are you sure? Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because that there is a dormant potential, it is totally sleeping. We always refer the word sleeping. So sleeping symbolically means you are totally unconscious of the external world. Right? You're totally oblivious of the external world. So symbolically we say, what is the highest level of unconsciousness in our physical body? It is the lower of the spine. That represents the total unconsciousness. So symbolically we say that the energy is sleeping there. I'm unconscious totally. I can be unconsciousness in a bedroom, in a living room, in a kitchen, but if I'm crazy I may become unconscious in a restroom also. So unconsciousness has no place. You understand this point? Most of the traditional wisdom is explained symbolically. But it has its meaning. Why symbolically? Because of the two reasons. One is the higher consciousness cannot be explained by the mind, cannot be explained by any language. Second, that many people started misusing this knowledge. So unless one learns again and again from the Master, Master repeats, Master looks at you that you have reached to that level of awareness, then he teaches you one step. He unfolds. This is the meaning of the tradition of Kundalini. I'm not saying this. I don't know anything. I'm just talking about the tradition with references, with evidences, text, teaching, tradition. From where you learned, that matters. What are the texts? That matters. And what is the secret behind it? That matters. So Kunda has one meaning, that it is a dormant potential. When it is a dormant potential, I do not know how much potential you have, Manjeet, you have Marcy, you have Patricia. We don't know the potential. We never knew the potential of the Bill Gates, who was a dropout. We are running after the Harvard to do something. Yeah? You see the point? So we don't know. And we don't even know his father was constantly nagging him, donate the money. And he said, no, don't think about it. And just a couple of 10 years back, he decided. What he decided? Gave away everything. For what purpose? For helping poor people. Eradication of the illnesses around the world. Now his passion is more on taking care of the people than technology. That is another manifestation of the same potential. You move out of the compassion. You bring about a change in your life. Your body undergoes a transformation, your mind, your intellect, your ego, everything undergoes a transformation. Every person has a different ways. One of many changes that have taken place over the years, that even if I sleep for 1 hour, I'm very happy. Just for 2 or maximum 3 hours of sleep. I go into very deep sleep and then I can work. I never go to sleep before 1. I never sleep after 4. Everybody knows I'm a crazy in my home, everybody knows. But I feel the same tremendous energy. Now talking, I brought this paper giving you some. So what I'm going to work in this introductory Kundalini workshop, we have decided 6? Yeah, we have decided 6. 6 workshop, what we are going to do. And then we will do something. It is from Yoga Kundalini Upanishad. It is the earliest Upanishad, the text that explains about Kundalini meditation or the Kundalini yoga. But I have to take another practice, another explanation before, and then we will do some practices for 15-20 minutes, then we'll come out. You have your questions, that's how it will work. Kundalini means 3.5 times coiled. Why 3.5 times? If you go to a scientist, even your own kid who is 15 or 16 years old, becoming adolescent and young, and you explain to him, come on honey, you say that I'm doing Kundalini yoga, that is the energy, and that is 3.5 times coiled. So he will look at you and he will say, okay, Mom, better you do your work, don't talk to me about Kundalini. He may not say you out of respect. Do you see that point? But then what happens? We continue to live in that shell and we feel as if we are spiritual, my son is not. Please don't do that. It's better not to follow the path than remain blind. The entire tradition of Tantra, Kundalini, Yoga, what is the goal of Yoga, Tantra? And it's a knowledge. Nasti yogat parambalam. There is no bigger power than yoga. Then in another text it says what yoga gives you. It gives you the wisdom. What the wisdom does, that wisdom and the knowledge dispels your ignorance, that leads to awakening, that leads to peace and happiness. That is the word. Coming back, Kundalini, 3.5 times coiled. What is this? It is a symbolic, she rightly said, it is a symbolic representation of waking state, dream state, sleep state, and the fourth state. So when the Kundalini is 3.5 times awakened, that half time, that half round, represents that we have the potential to move into the fourth state of Kundalini. Fourth state of the consciousness. What is the fourth state of consciousness? You can say it is meditative state. Have you heard the word Turiya? So Turiya is known as the fourth state of the consciousness. So Kundalini makes a transition to move into a higher consciousness, that is the fourth state. So that idea, that understanding of making a transition, it's represented by half time, and the rest 3 times represents waking state, dream state, and sleep state. I'm just opening up, so choice is yours. You want to remain enlightened by saying that yes, energy remains 3.5 times coiled, I have nothing to say. I don't oppose anything in this world now. If the people say you are crazy, I say you are right. I'm good, you're right. So first, ask yourself. So once you know that 3.5 times represents the 3 state, and my goal is to move into that state of the consciousness which is different than the sleep, dream, and the waking state, I am moving into Kundalini awakening. So simple. One more thing and then we will work on it. Do you have many desires, Pratisha? Many desires?
Not really, no.
You're a wonderful person. Not exactly. You have but about desire.
I do have desires. I think, there's one big, huge desire that would, give the definition of all my other desires, which is just to know my potential.
Know your potential. Start working in your life. Work. But work consciously. Your potential will be opened up. You know why I asked you this question? First thing, little bit about anatomy and physiology of, from the Tantra discipline. There are 16 essentials. I'll not talk about all those essentials. First thing that we follow the same anatomy and physiology. We say we have 5 different bodies. The outermost body, the physical. Second body is the energy body. Third is the mental body. Fourth is the intellect body. And the fifth is the pleasure body. Moving to the energy body is the second. I did not bring that paper, I'll send you. There are 72,864 energy pathways present in the body, according to 2 or 3 Tantra texts. Energy pathways, not the material world. Any scientist, if they say, where are these nerves? So we represent those energy pathways in Sanskrit as nadis. But nadi not to be mistaken as the nerve impulses or the arteries or the veins, as the medical science talks about. So to ask the scientist, can you show me the electric current in the wire? You can only show me when it manifests in the form of lighting, in the form of running an AC, running a cell phone. Yeah? Then only the energy, you can show me the manifestation. You cannot show me whether the energy is there in the electrical wire or not. So I'm talking about that, not invisible, but you can, though invisible, but it can be felt. So we have 72,864 energy pathways according to the tradition. So you have Alambusha, you have Gandhari, energy pathways here. The two energy pathways here. We talk about, Ida and Pingala here. So there are many energy pathways. So now, but why to manipulate this energy pathway? Question is this. And once you understand, then I will ask we'll do the practice, and then I'll ask you, why to manipulate this energy pathway? Have you ever understood this?
What's the question again?
Why we do these breathing practices?
Why do we do breathing practices?
We manipulate this energy pattern in the body.
To feel
Why? To feel?
To feel good, to be solid in the physical body.
You're already breathing 24 hours. Why you don't feel good?
To balance.
When it is good.
To balance.
To
Balance.
To balance. To balance what?
The mind.
Mind. Yes.
To the spirit.
The spirit is already balanced. There is nothing that is required from outside of that highest consciousness. That has been little twisted in America when we said, let me balance my soul. Let me balance my highest consciousness. That is already balanced. We cannot do anything. It is balanced to a level from where we cannot find something extraordinary from our mind. Why? I'm just giving you one principle that I'll help you explore in these 6 workshops. If I make a statement, and remember this. This is one of the very secret principles. The desire is the impurity of the prana, the energy. Desire is the impurity of energy. Even desire to look outside, to move the mind outside, prevents you to awaken to the inner consciousness. Desire is the impurity of this energy. This energy moves only because of, outwardly it moves only because of the impurities, because of the desire. What we should do. So when you are doing these breathing practices, the mind that has many desires is separated from this energy, becomes free. When it becomes free, then what happens? You leave the candle without any wind, what happens to this candle? Flame. It is still, and it points. It always points upward. It doesn't point. So it is the desire, it is that impurity, it is the wind of impurity that causes this energy not to move straight upward.
I just have a question about that.
Come on.
So then why were we made to function that way? Why were we given this physical body because aren't we here to experience the physical body, what it is to be a human?
You're right, and it's a very good, very beautiful question. And I give only one reference of this. The entire world outside, including the body, life, and mind. We have only two choices. Either to enjoy the pleasure, which are short-lived, that turns into pain, suffering, and we continue. Pleasure, pain, suffering, pleasure, pain, suffering. That is one choice that we have. The other choice is to transcend them all. If the body is not there, you cannot transcend them, you cannot awaken to the higher consciousness. There has to be some contrast. How do you know that you are awakened? You only know you are awakened when you can sit in a posture in a deep meditation, and you know from deeper inside the body is very far from you. It has nothing to do with you. That's why we need the body. That is one aspect of the answer. The second aspect of the answer comes from the same tradition. It says that this pure consciousness extends itself, becomes ego. Further extension leads to the creation of the mind. Further extension leads to the creation of the energy and the body. It is an extension. It is not a creation. It is not a creation. It is a little typical principle to pick up and understand, but I'm just giving a reference so you can think of it. Extension. The moment this pure consciousness extends itself into an I-ness, what happens? It limits itself. What the I does? Amanji says, this is my body, this is you. I'm sitting here, you are sitting. It creates a separative principle. It loses the beauty of oneness. The consciousness is limited. When it goes to the mind, further limited. When it goes to the body, it is further limited. So that is how the creation has been done. So now it is limited. We have to become unlimited and infinite. We have to evolve. So that is why we have been given the body, we have been given the mind, we have been given the intellect and the ego. Third simple answer. Marcy knows it. Have you seen the tiger going to the Walmart and to find some food items, buying the food items and going back? Dog, cat? No. Why not?
Because they intuitively are taken care of. They know where to go for the food.
Intuitively. They don't have intuition, and we have the intuition. That's why we go to the Walmart. Oh, it has all done. We have a choice. Tiger doesn't have a choice. Tiger remain programmed, conditioned by the prakriti, by the unconsciousness. We are programmed by the unconsciousness, and still we have a choice. We can leave that unconsciousness. We can leave, we can make a choice. What is the best choice that you can make in your life? Become the seeker of peace and happiness. Become the seeker of that wisdom. Become the seeker of that pure consciousness all the time. The peace that lies within. If I become a seeker of happiness in relationship to the other, I will always be deceived and cheated. Why? If the peace is not within me, Why I'm seeking peace in that person? What's the hell? Then I complain, honey, you are wrong. Then we move ahead, let me divorce you, find somebody. So we should become the seekers of the peace. So don't talk about the nature, it's a process of, don't talk about the God, it's a process of evolution. We should experience that I'm talking to you and I like you, for example, and I pleasure in our relationship. I must become aware this pleasure is not peace and happiness. This is just to make my mind aware to move ahead to the next step. Pleasures are short-lived, they cannot remain 24 hours with you. You go to a restaurant, you take one food, you claim that you are happy. So when you are not happy, take food. That never happens. Why? The message is clear that happiness lies within you. Lie down on the back, let us do what we are going to do, and then we will come back. We will have questions, eyes are closed. Are you ready to do simple things that I will ask you to do, Pratisha and Amanjeet?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Put both your hands on the chest, close your eyes, look deep inside the heart, in the space. Don't create any imagination of, I don't create those imagination of pathos and gods and goddesses, no. We will make a conscious journey. So both the hands are on the chest, eyes are closed. You promise me that you'll be doing what I would say. Looking inside the rib cage, you have to do quick and a fast breathing for 1.5 minutes into the chest through the nostril. Louder. Louder with a smile on the face. Don't get angry. Yes. Let us do and see what happens. I'm also observing and I'm also seeing how much receptivity is there and what should be given. This is the first time. Continue, my friends. Continue. 1.5 minutes. Your mind will say no. Don't listen to your mind. You are listening to me. I'm the teacher now. Yes, your subconscious mind is not your teacher now. Continue doing it. Continue doing it. Continue. Continue. 1.5 minutes. Continue. Yes, your mind is pushing you not to do it. Don't listen to your mind. Yes. That's wonderful, Amanjeet. I like you. Yes, continue. That's good. Continue. Continue. And stop it. Bring the hands down. Do nothing. No movement in the body. Look at the breath. Awareness of the breath means you are feeling the breath that is going in and out. Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. And when the breath goes in, you feel the sensation of the breath comes out, you feel the sensation. Now just count the breath. Breath is going in 1, breath is coming out 1. into, and just giving a glimpse of another Kundalini meditation, because this workshop is a unique, where you have to go in a very prepared, on a very active way. But yes, there are some similarities between the two. You're just counting the breath, no movement into the body stillness, and now do nothing, remain as it is. When you do nothing, you are in the state of mindfulness. I'm giving you the practice for the first time. I'm also observing how long you can sustain and maintain that. So there are a couple of things, but every step has its own experience. So you do nothing, really you do nothing now, but you're looking. In that state of doing nothing, you are awakened to the stillness in the body. There may be some sensation. It can happen anytime, even for the first time. It's not that your mind breaks that conditioning. Then you are aware of the breath. Are you aware of deeper within yourself? And that just being aware of in Kundalini Meditation level 1 from the other tradition that I teach has 9 steps. So we are picking up only 3 or 4 steps, and then we will see. We'll share our experiences. So this step aims at a release of energy from the unconsciousness. Why? I told you desire is the impurity of prana. We don't want this energy to flow, to get carried away, to be moved by the unconsciousness. Now put both your hands on the belly. Look deep inside the belly button. I only refer you look inside the belly button in the empty space. It is the center of the will, the action, and looking deep inside. Start breathing long and the fast breathing into the belly. Breathe in, belly out, breathe out, belly in. Start. Longer breath. Again, 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes. You won't even know how long you did the practice. I'll tell you later. You just observe the way I go about it. I like it, Amanji. That's a rhythmic breath. Mona, that's really good. Continue. Long and racing breath, Pratisha, a little faster, with a smile on the face, through the nostrils. I'm not telling you are doing Bhastrika or Kapalbhati, no, nothing like that. You are simply breathing, long and the fast breathe. Continue, please, 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes. 1.5 minutes, continue. Continue. 1.5 minutes, we continue. Don't listen to your mind. Your mind will say, no, I don't want to do it. I don't like it. It's not a question of liking. It's a question of bringing the change in you. And leave this. Bring your hands down. Bring the tip of the index finger and the thumb together with a gentle pressure on the floor. Eyes remain closed, no movement of the body. Look at the breath, moving the breath in and out, feeling the breath. counting the breath in one, out one. Just to give you a reference, I know it's not easy to remember and to do the practice. The moment the breath rate changes, it is done by the unconscious and the subconscious mind at this moment. And if it is done, then what happens? You are already carried away by the unconsciousness. It becomes difficult to practice further. But then what happens when we are practicing regularly and with the teacher, I observe and you also observe. I make you aware. And the time comes when the breath flows naturally and you are counting the breath. You experience that energy becomes free from the control of the unconscious and the subconscious mind. That is what happens. Now doing nothing, stop the counting. When you do nothing, you also remain stillness. That there is a stillness at the level of the physical. You remain aware of the breath. And somewhere you also discover as if you are living within. Is the key element in all meditation practices. Now we will retain the breath for 30 seconds. That's not a big deal. And I will tell you what to do when you retain the breath. So inhale deeply into the belly and the chest. Hold the breath inside, look deep inside the forehead in the space and mentally hammer that space with a mantra. Mentally, not loudly. Lips are together. Mentally you hammer and you're looking deep inside the forehead. Release the breath, do nothing, no change in the physical posture. Just continue to be into the state of doing nothing. Watch the breath, the stillness in the body, and also look deep inside. You may experience a flash, a glimpse, as if you're living little far from the body. You're very far from the body, the breath. But don't force it, don't imagine it. Remain aware, conscious. Please, whatever the steps that I gave you, it's a conscious step. I don't take you to the mysticism, to the occultism. You discover yourself. We'll be doing a couple of more times. Inhale deeply again into the belly and the chest. Hold the breath, look inside the forehead, in the space, and hammer with the mantra. Mentally you hammer, you hear the sound, that is enough. You create that sound mentally, that is enough. Maintaining the stillness, release the breath, keep the stillness of the body intact. Do nothing. You are aware of the stillness and the sensation in the body. You are aware of the breath. You are also aware of living deeper within. Third time, inhale deeply again into the belly and the chest. Hold the breath inside. Focus your mind deep inside the forehead and start hammering. Hey, me, 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 me. Mentally you are hammering. It is very quick and fast. Why we are hammering? We are stripping this energy from all the desires for the time being to move deeper. Why to move deeper? To awaken within. Why to awaken within? That's why you're here. Release the breath, allow the breath to be normal. One more time, inhale deeply into the belly and the chest. Retain the breath inside. Look deep inside the forehead and start hammering. Mantra is me, 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 me. You do it very quick, fast and loud in your mind, not outside. You see, we bypass the body, we bypass the breath. Release the breath, allow the breath to be normal. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. When the breath goes in, do not change it. Move the mind from inside the forehead to the belly button. When the breath comes out, move the mind from the belly button to the forehead. Breath goes in, no change. Mind moves from inside the forehead to the belly button. Say mentally, aim. Breath comes out. Mind moves from the belly button to the forehead. Say aim. Aim inside. Aim outside. When the breath goes in, aim, but mind moves between the two centers. Breath comes out, mind moves from the belly button to the forehead. In the state of stillness and calmness in the body, in the state of no change in the rate and rhythm of the breath, in the state of mind as working on the mind, moving between the two centers with the mantra aim, 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 aim. Doing nothing now, remain in that state of doing nothing. Just become aware of the stillness and the sensation in the body. Become aware of the breath. And also know if you really experience the body is little far from you, you have gone deeper within. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Raise both your hands, put both the palms on your eyes. Put both your palms on your eyes, open the eyes inside. Know your experiences to share. Bring your hands down, we only spend and sit up. We only spend 20 minutes. You may sit up now. How do you feel, Patricia?
Very relaxed.
That's what you say. And so it's an introduction. But in the workshop, we do it almost for some time, to minimum 1 hour of practice. So 15-20 minutes of talk to make you understand the principle. 1 hour of practice. Then we understand the step. Then I gave you the practice to go at home. That's what I do, That's what day 2 is, that you submit the progress sheet, homework that I gave you. We self-evaluate the stress level for 5 minutes. We do the mantra chanting and contemplation, understanding the meaning for 5 minutes. Then I introduce the entire content, the basic philosophy of the workshop. Then we do the practice for 1 hour. After you return, I give you the home practice, what is to be done, how it is to be done. You do it minimum at least for 6 days, 6 times. You can do it for twice or thrice. How do you feel, Mona?
Peaceful.
Mercy, you had a sleep? So whenever you don't sleep, call me. When you feel relaxed. Yeah. So this is just a glimpse of what we do. I don't go by one thing that I always take care in all the 3 traditional Kundalini practices that at present I am giving in different locations. I don't ask you to focus on a particular chakra. I don't ask you to imagine. I don't ask you to invoke. We simply do the practice and the result will be there. If within 20 minutes the relaxation is the result, and if you learn it in a systematic manner, what will happen? I have, so I don't go by that, no, you focus here is a soul. Even I don't like to tell that here is a solar plexus. I don't want to tell you here is a center. Yes, I only tell this is the center of the wisdom, the center of the emotion, and the center of the will.